I was literally breaking up with my ex-boyfriend while you were getting engaged.
What a ride.
And those were such separate events for me that it was like there was no part of me that was like, oh, I'm not happy for my best friend getting engaged right now just because I'm going through this.
But I thought about it. I was like, oh my God, this must be awful. It's probably like terrible timing.
Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of Vulnerable. I am your host, Chelsea Vaughn, and today we have a very special episode because my best friend is in the building. Welcome, Zola Polynice. I'm like, I don't even know if I should say your full name. Zola, welcome to the studio.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course.
Congratulations on, this is your 51st episode now?
No, we're long past that. But fair.
Yes.
How does it feel being here? Because you watch me. Zola is not only just my best friend, she is also a Vulnerable fan.
Yes.
I need a name for my listeners. I don't know what to call you guys.
Vaughn heads, Vaughn fans.
Vulnerable vixens.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a vulnerable vixen, and she puts the episodes on her TV sometimes.
I do.
You've seen the studio.
I know the setup. It feels like a take your daughter to work. And you're my mom in this.
Now you're on the couch.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Very cute.
So we're going to talk about female friendships today. Very fitting.
Yes.
But before we talk about angelic, beautiful women and how powerful we are in our friendships, I wanted to talk about how disgusting men are.
Oh. That's fair.
Did you see my close friend story yesterday?
Yes, I did.
Guys.
Are you scarred?
I am. So I was in my apartment minding my business in the middle of a workday, as one does, and I heard yelling. And I mean, this guy above me yells pretty frequently. I usually hear him yelling, or I hear a girl with him and I assume they're watching a TV show or watching sports. Don't know. But yesterday this yell was an abnormal yell, and it wasn't sexual at all. That's going to be important later. And so I go to my room and I look up because there's a little nook out that juts out from our apartments, and they're floor to ceiling windows. So you can see the person above you or below you from the nook, from the bedroom, whatever. I go in the bedroom, I look up, and I see this man aggressively f***ing off directly into the windows. Okay?
Oh.
Yeah. Sitting at his desk. Marty, your face. You weren't expecting that one, were you? Sitting at his desk, looking at his monitors.
Ew.
Aggressively off. And I was at first I looked up and I was I thought, I was oh, he's just adjusting. I was just am I actually seeing this right? And then I stood there for a second. I was wait, what the
Did you make eye contact?
He probably saw me. I honestly feel this was a kink. He must have been getting off on people watching him, because the people across the building across from us
could see.
You can see everything in their apartment, so I know they can see everything in ours. So he has to know that too. And he's in the corner, window here for this building, other window here for out to what I saw.
Ew. And
I was the way he yelled too was it felt like a sports team kind of yell. No. He was watching a football game and his team missed a catch or something. He was
oh.
And then he I heard banging on the on my ceiling.
So you think he's running around after?
So I truly don't know what was going on. It didn't sound enjoyable. Oh. And I am scarred for life. So that is what happened to me yesterday.
At least he was in the privacy of his own home, I guess.
But I kind of want to leave him a note and just anonymously slip it under his door and be hey, your neighbors can see you jacking off, right?
Do it.
I might. Because I'm sure that's not the first time. It's just the first time I've heard a yell and thought let me go see what's going on. Because it sounded
concerning.
It sounded like someone fell.
Yeah. And you were just going to be oh, I'll save him.
I don't know. I don't know what I was expecting to find, but it definitely sure as hell wasn't that.
Oh.
Yeah. Have you ever
encountered that? I've encountered my fair share of subway trauma where it's just oh, there's there's some other stuff. But
okay.
In terms of the safety of my own home, no one ever crosses that line.
It was violating. Yeah. And then I was wait a minute. If I can see him, if I'm standing in my nook, the people below me can see me.
Yes.
But that's where my bar card is. So I would never stand in that nook.
You also close your blinds, I assume, for privacy reasons, for anything else.
I don't know what he was doing. I literally heard him on a work call right after this. So I'm he's just jacking off in the middle of the day and in between Zoom calls.
Go him. Busy guy.
Yeah, so that's what happened yesterday, but it's a hard pivot to female friendship.
And women would never do that to each
Yes,
other.
yes.
Moral of the story.
To wrap that story up, women are better than men.
Yes.
No. So let's talk about our friendship because
Okay.
I don't think people know. I'm trying to think about what identifiable things I've said about you on the podcast because I was like, my best friend just got engaged. This is that best friend.
Yes.
And then I mentioned you by name. So yeah, anytime I've mentioned my best friend, guys, it was her. I was talking about her. Because other times I'll be like, oh, my best friend from college or like my friends from home or
Yeah.
like my old roommate, best friend. Yeah. Anyways, no, we've been best friends since 2012 when I approached you at the bus stop.
Yeah, 11 years. Yeah, you approached me. I was so
I
flattered.
did.
I was like, oh, hi.
I was feeling really, I don't know, like confident that day. I'm
Yeah.
usually not an approacher when it comes to friends, but I just saw you and apparently knew you were going to be an important person in my life.
We did hit it off. It feels like dating. Like,
Yeah,
or
it
like,
is.
This is going to work out. And like, it did, thankfully. We're together
Yeah.
forever now.
Stuck with me. Yeah, no, that's a good point, though. I think it does feel like dating. And a lot of people asked, because I put like, what do you guys want to talk about for female friendships?
Yeah.
People always ask like how to make the friends.
It's hard.
Yeah, it is hard. And I also think like in a city, like we moved here from Georgia. So like we went to college together, if you guys don't know. I don't know why you would. We went to college together and the bus stop was a college bus stop.
Yes.
But it's hard to make friends in a big city, especially if you're like in a weird job. Like
Yeah.
you work a regular corporate job where you can like make work friends,
Yeah.
but
Too
not
old
now.
for work friends now. Now I have my real friends. So it's like, okay, cool, your work. These are my friends. But yes,
Separation.
yeah.
Yeah, maybe that's true about age. I never thought about it like that. Because like
Yeah.
when I first moved here, obviously I met my old roommate, best friend, Casey, at work. But it's like when you're younger at the office, it
That's
does
when you
feel
get friends.
more.
Yeah.
Wow, I never thought about that because I just stopped working at an office.
Yeah.
But then when you grow up and you're like 35, I guess you're not trying to like go have happy hour with your coworkers.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like once work starts encroaching on your other time, it's just like, oh no, clear 9 to 5. I have a different life outside of this, and I don't need this.
Yeah.
But, like the most respectful way. Like,
I mean, fair.
yeah.
And also, everyone spends so much time at work already. Like,
Yeah,
it's not, we're
exactly.
not trying to keep doing that.
But
Damn.
fresh out of college, it's like that's all you have, and this is like your one common ground, and it's much easier to rely on that.
Yeah, I'm not really the authority on how to make friends after college. I feel like you should have made some really good ones in high school and college.
I'm no expert here either. I have no new friends. I don't remember the last time I made a new friend.
Okay, I am making an effort though, which I wasn't before, because I've met a lot of like fun girlies in
Yeah.
this creative influencer space that I actually genuinely like and are my age. So it's like that I'm going out of my way to actually commit and be intentional about like making plans and making friend dates. I told you I was going on friend dates.
Yes, you were busy that week.
Yeah.
Like, I'm back to back.
I accidentally scheduled like 3 friend dates in 1 week when I was trying to just do like one a week, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I got burnt out, and then I'm like, this is why I don't make new friends.
But especially when it's just like in the talking stage, it's like it requires effort, requires time, and it's legitimately like dating.
Yeah, that's why I try to like hang out with people that I feel like I already
Yeah.
like their energy. Like it's not an exhausting thing like dating is to be like, what's your favorite color? Whatever.
Yeah.
It's like we already kind of have some sort of a base, some sort of a like connection.
Yes.
Like when I went out with Raven from Love is Blind, she obviously we have the reality TV connection, but also she like just moved here. She's 30. Like there was just a lot of things in common. So it didn't feel
Force.
laborious. Is
Yeah.
that a word?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But I didn't help. How to make friends for everybody else. I think put yourself out there.
Yeah.
That's it. Like there's people that you know, there's friends of a friend that your friend knows, or like your boyfriend's friend, his girlfriend. Like you have a lot of friends like that.
Yeah. When I moved to LA for that brief stint,
The worst
way
year
I
of my
made
life.
friends was basically, oh, you know someone? Cool. I trust them. I will be friends with you automatically kind of thing. And then
Yeah.
like we've maintained those friendships despite like moving back here kind of like throughout the months. And it's been like, oh, this was nice. I'm glad the mutual helped lead to this.
Yeah. But I even mean now, like you have friends that are like Adam's friends, girlfriends, or fiancés.
All Emily's.
Yeah. Oh my God, guys. She is friends with so many girls named Emily, and it's now a running joke in our group chat because anytime she says she's doing anything, I'm like,
It's
is
with
it with
Emily?
Emily? triggered by the word Emily. But you like, because Adam has a lot of friends.
So many.
So many
But
friends.
luckily, I like all of their significant others too, so it's like very easy.
That is lucky.
Yeah.
Speaking of maintaining friendships, though, I feel like that's an important topic because people were asking me about like long-term friendships, like people. Well, what's your longest? I know who your longest friend is, but like you don't have to say them by name. But like, how many years have you been friends with your longest friends?
Kindergarten. So
Okay, so like 25
whatever the
years.
math is, yeah.
Because you're like 6 again.
Like every birthday dinner you go to, you see the same friends annually, and it's like, oh, yeah.
Same with me.
Different stages of the life. Sorry.
Yeah, same with me. That's why with my like 30th birthday, it was like all of my friends might be from different places, but you guys already knew each other because
Yes.
I've been friends with like my youngest friend, as in youngest friendship, probably like 10 years old. Like I don't know.
Yeah, they're
So the
aged.
Bachelor girls.
Yeah.
like that's the newest friend groups that I've made. But I think sometimes it gets hard to maintain a friendship when like the effort is mismatched.
I agree.
Or when one person, this is a lot of people said this, when one person gets a boyfriend and then starts like kind of ditching the other friend. So I'm trying to think about how to navigate that because like part of me thinks it's a little bit of an insecurity on the single friends like part,
Yeah.
to be honest, because I was literally breaking up with my ex-boyfriend while you were getting engaged.
What a ride.
And those were such separate events for me that it was like there was no part of me that was like, oh, I'm not happy for my best friend getting engaged right now just because I'm going through this.
But I thought about it. I was like, oh my God, this must be awful. This is probably like terrible timing. Like,
I mean, it wasn't.
you
I
did
don't
a good
know.
job about separating. it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But like it just, they were so separate to me that I just feel like if I had been, like it'd be one thing if I was in a bad mood, like because I was just sad or something, like if I was just holding back tears, cool.
Yeah.
But like it's another thing to be like weirdly envious. Like I'm just not envious of any of my friends like that. And I feel like if you have like a green little monster in there somewhere for any of your friends, like that's something you need to look inward about.
Yeah. Yes. We have a very healthy relationship.
We do.
But
But
also, fortunately, you like Adam, so it makes it a lot easier, and he likes you too. So the three of us splitting a burger is very easy. It
okay,
comes
that
naturally.
actually is true. Which is what I was gonna say about like, oh, when your friend gets a boyfriend and like leaves you
Yeah.
behind. I think so. I'm not just blaming the single person. The person that gets a new boyfriend too should also still continue to make an effort
Yeah.
with your friend. Like, don't ditch all your friends just because you got a new boyfriend. I get it. It's exciting. We've all been there. But your friends were there for you before they
Yeah.
came along. And yeah, it takes a little bit more effort to get out of your little relationship bubble and call your friend or text your friend back. But I just feel like that's super fucked up when people do that.
There's space for everyone. Like, I don't think your significant other needs you 24/7. Like, you can take a breather and spend time with your friends. It's like healthy.
Well, you would hope
Yeah.
that they would be doing that too because they had friends before
Yeah,
they met you.
exactly. And I think that's what helps, like, especially with Adam having so many friends. It's like, oh, go to dinner. It's okay. We'll be fine. See you later.
True. But a lot of people, I think, when especially in
Same.
the first part,
Yeah.
like 3 months or whatever of the relationship, are so codependent that like it just reminds me of Sex and the City when Carrie's like starts dating Big and everyone's like, wow, we haven't seen you in months. I'm like, what the fuck? She's like, yeah, sorry, I've been meaning to call. I'm like, that's horrible.
Yeah. No, it's bad.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like if that's the situation that's happening, how to navigate it would be just communicate what you're feeling.
Absolutely.
Like, don't come at your friend like in a hostile, angry way. Obviously, if you are pissed off, fair. But I would say just let them know, like, hey, this kind of hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
Can we try to do better going forward kind of thing? And if you have a friend that's actually a decent person and like a good friend to you, I feel like nobody's going to take offense to that.
I would never take offense. I would feel so badly. And then I'd also be kind of honored. I'm like, oh my God, you miss me that much. We can hang out.
Yeah. But I think, I mean, like you just said, we have a healthy
Yeah.
friendship. But a lot of
It
people
definitely
have
happens.
some toxic friendships.
Yeah. I think that also happens when you're younger. Like if you're not, like if you're new to relationships and maybe if you're like in high school and college, sure, and you're not able to balance. But when you're older, like at our age, it's like you've gone through enough life. You should be able to have multiple people.
That's true.
Yeah.
And I also think that because we've been friends for so long, for me, it's very stable. Like it's a it's almost like attachment styles. It's like we're secure in that I don't have abandonment issues thinking like, I don't think you're going anywhere. So it's like, I don't feel like if I don't hear from you for a week, I'm like, oh my God, like she's mad at me. Like, what did I do wrong? Whatever. And I think that does come with age because I feel like in college, high school and college, I was definitely one of those people that got like super, super, super close with people, like obsessively close with people. And not saying that's a bad thing, but it's just not like that anymore. I don't know if I aged out or what, but it's just like, I'm not like that with anybody anymore.
Well, you're really secure in yourself now. And I feel like when you're younger, you're kind of like, how do I find myself? And just like all of this floating around, and you tether yourself to this one person. Who's your identity. As a Libra, that's how I felt.
Oh my God, I didn't do the beginning of the episode. What's your sign? How old are you? And where are you originally from?
I'm Zola, a Libra, and I'm originally from Long Island, but I know you by way of Georgia, where I lived for 11 years.
Yes. Wow. Oh my God. I'm sorry, guys. She's a Libra.
If you couldn't tell.
I feel like even if I forget, the sign always comes out in the middle of the episode somewhere.
My friends from kindergarten, we just hung out like 2-3 Saturdays ago, and like 2 of them have kids, and it's like, this is such a wild moment to see, like, from birth, essentially.
Oh my God, I was
you
just
guys have
talking about
kids
that.
running around.
I was just talking about that because when I went to Austin and met Megan's kid and Lizzie, it's just like, it's so weird and cool to see people that you grew up with now raising a child, which makes me think about like different stages in friendship. Like if your friend's at a different stage than you, it's kind of like, where do you, it's hard to navigate the friendship like that because obviously all of us are at different stages in life. Like we're all in different places doing different things, whatever. And that doesn't mean you can't still be friends. But I do think if one friend is still in the I go out every night and get hammered phase, while another friend is like at 7 p.m. putting their kid in the bathtub, it's just very different.
Yeah.
How is that for you with your friends? Because I feel like you have plenty of friends
all
that
in
are
different
different
stages. Yeah. I think because I've known them for so long, it's just like we have that stability in which we're like, it's okay if we don't talk for 2 weeks. We'll still be there for each other in whatever capacity we need. But then like when it comes to the stages and when we hang out together, it like almost doesn't matter. It's like, oh, we're right here. It doesn't matter if you have a kid. Like they're not here right now where they are. like I think it comes so naturally. Like it's fine.
Yeah. I agree with that because I feel like the friends I've known for that long, it's like at this point, you're family and you don't have to talk to your family every day to still remain close.
Yeah.
It's literally just like that. Every time I go home to Atlanta and see my friends, it's like we get together. It's all exactly the same.
Yeah. And I send everyone enough TikToks to let them know that I'm thinking about them. So it's like, no matter what, like we're there.
Yeah. It's our group chat is the string that holds us together because we don't really talk individually like that so much anymore. And like I was thinking about this last night when I was actually on the way to the liquor store to get this wine. I was walking and I was like, oh, I just want to talk to somebody on the phone for like 15 minutes. And then I was thinking about all my friends that I wanted to call. And I was like, well, I'm not going to call you because I didn't know what you were. I figured you were like at home cooking with Adam or something. And like, I was going to see you tomorrow. So I was like, whatever. And then
what doing.
I knew it. And then I called Lizzie and she's like with her kid and at dinner with Caleb. And then my sister's studying for a test. And then Camilla was like making dinner with somebody. And I was just like, we're all at different stages in life and nobody can answer at 6 p.m. on a weekday. No, I'll give it up. Serena did answer. She was about to hop on a plane.
Oh.
But we talked for a little minute. And then I called my old trusty, my mom.
Okay, that's like, I normally default to my mom.
My mom always answers. We were chit-chatting and then watched The Golden Bachelor.
My mom's at that stage where she sees my name and she's like, picking and choosing when she answers, so just weird.
Wait, you're
like
supposed
to be
to do
her
that.
Life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're the only child.
I know.
Your mom's screening you.
In fairness, it's because she's working.
Okay. Fair.
It's like noon on a weekday.
That is hilarious. Okay, let's take a quick break and then we'll come back and we'll do some advice.
Oh.
Okay, a couple of you guys wrote in and asked for advice. So we're going to do that now. This one I really liked because it's talking about, I guess, navigating hurt feelings. So she asked, what are some successful ways that you've navigated hurt feelings by your friends and having hard conversations? What are you about to say?
I'm just like, you're very direct. So like we approach this very differently.
That is true. Okay, how do you approach it?
I let it fester. I really think about it. And then I'm like, I get nervous right before the conversation, write it out. And then it's like, you have to communicate essentially.
An honest queen. We love it.
Yeah.
I try not to let things fester.
Oh, okay.
No, just because my friendships are important to me. And I feel like if you're an important person in my life, I'd rather just nip it in the butt. Like, I would rather just handle it so that we don't have to have this drag on and like be a long thing that turns into a potential friendship breakup. Like, I don't want that. If I care about you, I want to talk about it so we can squash it. So that's why I'm so direct about it. I mean, I am a direct person in general, as you know. But successful ways I've navigated, I think I'm so much better at writing things out.
Yeah.
You too. Like, it's so much easier for me to write things out and organize my thoughts in the notes app, on paper, whatever, before I say it. So I feel like that's a really good way for me to get everything out that I need to say. And I also can course correct, because sometimes like I'll just write everything out and then I'll be like, okay, let me reel that part in before I send the text.
Yeah.
Or like, let me cut that line out because it's unnecessary. And then just own your feelings and always come from a place of love. Like, don't attack your friend if you care about them. So I feel like, I guess, for example, like one of my friends from home, there was something that happened when I went home last time I went home, I went to her house. There was like an incident that happened, made me really uncomfortable. And I felt weird about it. And she felt weird about it, but then we didn't say anything. And then the next day I was like, I just want to say something because I don't want this to turn into a whole thing.
You didn't want it to just go away.
I'm not a Libra. And so I typed her out like a whole paragraph message and I was like, hey, this made me feel some type of way. I would appreciate going forward if this didn't happen. I wish you had done this instead, kind of thing. And she replied, like, also, she's not a confrontational person at all.
Yeah.
So her immediate response is like, I'm so sorry. Not that I don't think she meant, like, didn't mean it. But like, she's the type to be like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like, I didn't mean to, whatever. Squashed. Which I feel like that could have turned into something weird later on. Because obviously I'm going to see them again, like when I go home forever.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's kind of how I navigate it, because I feel like I do take that role too. Like, I'm always the one that's going to bring it up.
Yes.
And everybody knows that. But on my birthday, you were the only person there that was like, hey, do you want to talk about what happened?
Oh, yeah, it felt so awkward.
Which was surprising that you were the one that
Thank
said
you so
that.
much. I've evolved.
Yeah, I'm proud of you for that.
But I think it's because of security. Like, I feel like you and I have such a secure relationship where it's like, I want the best for you. And if I can tell something's off, like, why wouldn't I just come to you and ask you?
Yeah.
So I guess it does depend on your degree of friendship with someone in terms of how you approach it. Because not everyone's going to be comfortable with that conversation.
True. Yeah, I think that's the root of it. Most people are really, really uncomfortable with confrontation.
Yeah.
Whether that's like their friend, their boyfriend, their mom, whatever. Like, people don't like confrontation. And I think I got over that at an early age.
Yeah.
Or I never had that problem. I don't know.
Don't know.
I mean, my mom is a very direct person also. And so I think I've just never known anything different. So then when people are like, wow, you really go in there. I'm like, oh, is that not normal? Yeah, but I'm fine being that person, because I would rather I think a lot of my friends, and maybe this is not a coincidence, are not confrontational.
That makes sense. I think females in general aren't they're not like, it's like a wide generalization, but
Yes.
it's kind of, we were like positioned to be a little quainter.
Fair.
Yeah.
I know what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
But have you ever had like a friend that you had to break up with? Like, that sounds weird, but like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I will call it like a break instead of a breakup.
Okay.
But it comes into like the seasonality of friendships and I think ultimately relationships, where it's like some seasons are so good, you guys are like on the same page. And then like sometimes it's just like a little dead and you guys are totally on different pages and you kind of recognize that, but once again, you'll still be there for each other.
Mm.
And so that's why, like, I don't think I've ever really had a breakup. I think it's just like space.
Yeah. I think that also ties into age and maturity, because I feel like when you're younger, like you have these blow ups, like the friendships are kind of toxic. You fight, you break up, like it's very dramatic.
Yeah.
Everything's so dramatic. So I feel like I haven't had a friendship breakup since like high school.
I agree. And you were also fighting over different things in high school.
Yeah.
Like right now, there's not really much to fight about. Like there isn't much overlap. We're all secure in who we are. It's like if we're fighting, it's mainly from like, oh, I must have hurt you accidentally. It's very hard to do something on purpose unless you're just like a bad friend.
Like, true. But I think, I don't know, we're just thinking about ourselves, but I think a lot of
so.
people have really toxic
perfect?
friends. No. No, they do. People have really weird frenemy toxic relationships.
Yeah.
I feel like it's totally fine to break up with a friend if you feel like, if anytime you're around them, they make you feel like shit. Like some people have friends that genuinely, they're like, well, I'm just so loyal because I've been friends with her for so long and I feel really weird, but like every time I'm around her, she kind of like puts me down and I'm like,
yeah.
I
I think that's a big kicker when you're saying it's like the length of a friendship definitely determines like your best path forward sometimes.
Yeah. People will hang on because of the loyalty and like, oh, well, we've been friends since kindergarten or our moms are friends or whatever it is. But it's like there's a term for this in romantic relationships too. I can't remember what it's called. It's like in like the amount of time that you invested makes it hard for you to break up with them.
I don't know. That sounds like math.
No, there's a technical term, but anyway. Yeah, I just feel like, I don't know, anytime any relationship is making me feel bad about myself consistently, it's like you need to take a look at yourself and figure out why you want to hang around that. But I have not had to break up with a friend in I don't know, really, really long time. I can't think of anything. But it's very, I think, easier now to just remove yourself from the situation and create space, like you said. Yeah. It's like, okay, if I don't like being around you anymore, I'm just going to take a step back. And it's obvious. It's like when you're talking to a guy and they just all of a sudden start being distant.
Yeah.
It's just very obvious. Okay, this person wrote in and said that she's hurt because she introduced two of her friends and now they hang out without her. I'm not gonna lie, I can be a jealous friend in that way. Not jealous of my friend, but jealous if my friends exclude me. And I doubt these people are doing it on purpose. But like if you introduce two of your friends, you would think about, I would think about like the hierarchy. Like I'm like, if I introduced friend A and friend B, friend A should be closer to me and friend B should be closer to me than they are to each other. In my mind.
Yes.
Right? But like in reality, they could really hit it off and become closer friends than you or just like live closer together or whatever.
Yeah.
But I feel like that is hard to see though, because then it's like, well, why wouldn't they invite me? Because I'm the reason they know each other.
Yeah, it's hard not to take that personally.
Yeah.
It's like I'm the glue that's holding us
the
together.
Glue. That's exactly what it is.
But like if it happens naturally, then that's just the way it is. And like, do you really want to force yourself in there? And like if you're not even wanted?
Damn.
They don't want to hang out with you. Like
I would say try not to take it personally.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really all I can say. Try not to take it personally. It probably doesn't have anything to do with you as a person. They still are both your friends and you can invite them both to hang out like as a group.
Yeah, I also would just ask probably at some point. It's like, hey, I noticed that you're hanging out with so-and-so a lot without me. Can I come?
Can I come?
Yeah.
True. You could also communicate and be like, hey, miss you.
Yeah.
Wish we could, next time you and so-and-so hang out, like, would love to be included.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes me think of me, you, and Adam because I was thinking about when somebody asked when your friend is in a relationship and you're not, like how to navigate that.
Yeah.
And you do a really good job of including me. Like, obviously, I'm not going to do everything you and your fiance do together, but like, it's not weird if the three of us go out.
No.
And I think that's like the person in the relationship's job to also like include you because I don't mind being a third wheel. And you don't mind having me there. So then it's like we get to still hang out and I still feel like I'm part of it. And like that's why I've gotten close with Adam. And it's like if it's a new person in your life, include your friend.
I think we're very lucky in that situation. Like, I don't know if everyone could say that, but it's also like you add to the relationship when you are there. It's not like you're just, a wet rag. You like add to the conversation. You talk to them. It's never like anyone is being left out when we do hang out together. And it's like,
yeah. But I
why
think
not
that's
hang
on the person in the couple, because some couples make it really weird for a third person to be there. And it's like, okay, obviously I'm not going to want to hang out if you guys are making out next to me.
No.
So I would say if you're in a couple, make sure your friend feels included, and not just in a half-assed, you're doing it for show kind of way. Like, actually include them and don't make it weird. And then if you're the single person, make it obvious, like, know that you don't mind hanging out with them.
I think you do a good job of that too. You're clearly like, I can hang out. Like, I'm free. Like, don't worry, I don't mind. It's like, okay, well, she doesn't mind, Adam. Can she come?
What are you guys doing? I'm available.
Yeah.
True. Okay. I feel like we covered a wealth of topics on female friendship. I like to ask all of my guests one final question.
Let's hear it.
You knew this was coming. Is there anything you want to be vulnerable about today?
Let's see.
I usually give people a heads up, so sorry, but you listened to the episode, so I feel like you knew it was coming.
Well, I came in with one thing in mind, but now that like we're talking about female, not now that I knew it was female friendships, I feel like it should stick to that trend.
No, I want to know what the other thing was.
It was about wedding planning, because that's like top of mind.
Okay.
It was just like
Honestly,
everyone, like Abigail said, that it's supposed to be like the happiest time of your life, but it's also the most overwhelming time of your life.
Yeah.
But that's when like, honestly, the friendships have come into play, because it's like I can come to each and every single one of my friends individually and hear a unique perspective that makes me feel so much better.
Yeah.
So I guess that ties it together.
Yeah, no. It makes me sad that you're like so stressed over it already.
I want everyone to be happy.
I know you do.
That's what makes me happy. Like, you get to come, you get to like.
I know, but like, okay, I guess the wedding is the one time where like you can be selfish and be like, okay, I want to be happy with I know you can't turn it off.
Yeah.
I know. But you can't think about everyone. There's like hundreds of people.
And I will. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
but I appreciate everyone's patience, because I feel like it's been top of mind every time I'm talking to someone. So everyone in my friend group has been like very supportive.
I mean, you're not being annoying. It's not like you're being bridezilla yet.
They won't.
We're only how long has it been? A month since you got engaged?
Yeah.
Only a month. You're putting a lot of pressure on yourself to figure it out immediately. And like, obviously, I've never been engaged or planned a wedding, so I get that you're like, okay, I want to have it handled.
Yeah.
And you're trying to save for a house and everything else ties together. But like, you have time. I feel like you have time to figure it out.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I'll tell myself that at 4 a.m. Yeah.
Easier said than done.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God, should I be vulnerable now that you're here?
Yes. Tell me a secret.
I actually didn't think about it. You know all my secrets.
I know.
I guess I'll just say that I mean, and you know this, appreciate you a lot, because obviously my breakup's been top of mind for me, and I feel a lot better. Like, I genuinely feel so much better in the past couple of weeks, and I feel like I can attribute that to like how supported I was in the first couple of weeks, and you had a big part to do with that, obviously. So I feel like that, combined with just allowing myself to like feel all the feels and be sad or whatever, like that helped me, I feel like, get to where I'm at right now. Because I've never, not saying I'm completely over it, but I'm just saying I've never felt this fine this soon after a breakup.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna have to cut that out. But like, I've never felt so okay so quickly. And that also might have to do with like, I've gone through a lot of breakups before.
Yeah.
And now, like you said, I'm secure in myself, and I know I'm going to be fine by myself, and I am fine and happy by myself. So it's kind of like, okay, this isn't the end of the world kind of thing. But obviously you've been there from start to finish.
Yes.
Since I got back from Canada, listening to all my woes for the entire relationship.
I was there to support you.
And you were there through the breakup, and you let me talk so much until I was blue in the face about everything. So I love you. I appreciate you.
I love you too.
Okay, cheers. Thank you for being here.
Cheers. Thank you for having me. What a fun topic.
Everyone, if you guys want to watch this on YouTube, We are at Vulnerable Pod. If you want to follow me on Instagram, it's at Chelsea Vaughn, at Chelsea Vaughn _ on TikTok. Do you want the people to follow you?
Sure, go for it.
Yeah, plug your stuff.
I'm just on Instagram under Z Polynice.
Yes.
Polynice.
If you want to find her, you can find her on my page.
Yeah. The tagged photos.
Okay. Yeah, that's it.
Cool.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers.
Love you. See you next episode.